Hi there, Eric Bakker. Thank you for coming back. Wow, this is going to be an interesting video because it's going to open up quite a lot of debate. So please, no hate mail out of this, okay? I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons of actually following strict diets or particular types of diets. I'm not going to mention the diets, but there's literally 50,000 diets out there. There are so many of them. So there are many advantages of following a diet. So you may have bought a book, the XYZ diet or whatever it is, I don't care. Could even be my diet recommendations, whatever. There are definitely advantages of following diets that you read in books or you read online. Because it's going to give you structure. It's going to show you what you need to do, how you need to do it. Right? It's going to give you the ability to know exactly what you need to buy when you go shopping, the type of recipes to make. It gives you structure, and that's what you want. You know exactly what you want. Many people say to me, I want you to draw me out a diet plan, a very carefully constructed diet plan of what I can eat in the breakfast, what I can eat for lunch, what I can eat for dinner. Get out of here. What do you want those kind of plans for? You go to a dietitian if you want that kind of stuff. And even then, that's most of it's junk you're not going to follow anyway. I mean, who's going to look at something and say, get 3 fluffy eggs in the morning and fluff them up and then have them with this or that. And then for lunch, you're going to cook this kind of food up. And then forget it. It's probably not what you're going to follow anyway. And if you do follow it, it could be for a few weeks, but you'll soon be back to doing other kind of stuff. It's quite rare for someone to follow instructions like that down to the letter. I've got patients like that, and I've seen them, but it's not usually common for a person to follow those kind of instructions. Right? Some people actually like to weigh everything right down to the gram, right down to the milligram even, If you say that some people, you can have some nuts. How many? 3 almonds? 4 almonds? How big are the almonds? Should they have, the skins on them, or should they be blanched? What time of day can I eat them? I mean, those people need to go and see a psychiatrist. When you get to the point where you want to know exactly what time you should eat something and in a quantity, get out of here. It's more like Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman material, where you've got some mental health disorder, in my opinion, when you're getting that freaked out about what you eat, how you can eat it, when you can eat it. Robots talk like that, not humans. So the pros of the diet are, you know exactly what you're doing. But in my opinion, the cons outweigh most diets. And I've said this many times on this channel, most people will always gravitate back towards their own preferences and eating styles and habits. We all like certain types of foods and we're drawn back to those foods. Now, I believe this is because of the bacteria in our gut that shapes how we feel and how we think. We don't think for ourselves. The bacteria think for us. You may find that a strange concept. But if you go and live in another country for 6 or 12 months, you will not be eating the way you eat in the country that you came from. You will change. Your taste will change. Your desires will change. Because the bacteria change. Because the soil of the country you're living in is different. The air, the water, everything about that country is going to shape your gut. Even the stress of your job, your relationships, will all shape your gut. So, in my opinion, your diet will be driven by your bacteria. And your bacteria are driven to a degree by what you eat. So if you always strive to eating healthy food, clean food, organic food, spray-free, pest-free, crap-free food, it's going to confer incredible benefits to the gut. And that in turn will dictate the diet, not some book or some piece of paper or junk like that. So it's true what they say and what they've said since the 1950s, that every time you put something in your mouth to eat, you're either building up your health or you're breaking it down. So that's a very important point to think about, not what book should I follow or whose diet should I follow. It doesn't mean anything what someone writes about food. What's important to you is what relates to your gut and how that food makes you feel, whether it's a protein, fat, or carb. There are certainly rules when it comes to eating. We all know that we shouldn't eat too much meat, but we also know that we can't just focus on a pure vegan, vegetarian diet, and throw caution to the wind when it comes to proteins and things like iron and B12. So there's got to be a degree of intelligence, regarding your particular diet design. So when it comes to the pros and cons again, the pros are for the diet are the structure, the formality, the regulation, exactly what you're doing. Plus also other people may tell you that it's a good diet, they followed it and it works well. And it'll probably work okay for you. But the con in terms of this pro is, don't get too rigid with that particular diet book. Be sure to modify that diet to suit your gut and your needs. I see this commonly with FODMAP diets where people will say, I've been told I can't eat garlic because it's on the FODMAPs list. Get a load of crap. Most people can tolerate garlic perfectly fine. Many people can't tolerate it raw, but if they partially cook it or steam it or stir fry it, they can tolerate it. But if a book says not to eat a particular thing, are you going to be like that because the food police tell you that? You need to make up your own mind what's right for you, not have people dictate to you what you can and can't eat out of a book. Right? So the pros of following the diet are there, but the cons are immense because they weigh heavily on your mind. You'll be thinking, I can't eat that food because the diet says avoid that food. I think you should park these books, follow basic healthy principles, adjust the diet to suit yourself, and just like a garden, you create it to follow no other person but yourself, because it's your garden, just like it's your diet, it's your life, it's your call. Thanks for tuning in.